Tonight on a sad and difficult day where we've had one of the worst natural disasters in our world's history, with thousands of buildings collapsing in earthquakes across the world from us. And I think it's important during times like this to focus on how we can process when the news is so overwhelming. One of the keys to being resilient is having tools and techniques that can help any of us when life in general, but especially the news, can be so full of doom and disaster. I think in this modern time, it's particularly unique. So I want you to know that you're not alone, that there are thousands and thousands of people that feel the way that you feel. And here are 6 tips. The first thing is there's no right or wrong way to go about this. If you're feeling super upset and connected, even though this disaster happened across the world from you, that's okay. If you're feeling like you should feel more sad than you do, that's okay. You're not right or wrong. Manage it in the way you want to manage it, right? If you're worried about your reaction, that might be different. But if you're just thinking, I don't understand how I need to be responding to this, the way you're responding is just fine. No one should stand in judgment of you, and you shouldn't stand in judgment of others and how they're processing the overwhelming news. The next thing is to express your feelings in a healthy way. Sometimes that comes easily through writing or speaking or talking to a therapist, a friend, a parent, a family member, but you need to get those feelings out. If you're feeling overwhelmed and upset, then you need to be able to process that and not just bottle it up and push it down, because we all know the body remembers, right? So that's going to be coming back to you later. Look for the helpers is the third suggestion, or maybe be a helper. There are lots of opportunities where we can donate, and there's certainly opportunities to volunteer in our local communities for the things that might be feeling like a struggle there. Next, I want you to be a good steward of information. We've talked about this before when there are crises, and it's really important that we don't repeat information that we don't know to be true, and that we are thoughtful of information that we share, understanding that family, friends, and relatives may be consuming what we are presenting. So, just to be very thoughtful and careful and responsible with how we're transferring information to others. Next is to be thoughtful of children. Of course, this is going to be on every news screen. So maybe have those screens off today when kids are around. The actual concept of thousands of buildings collapsing is quite calamitous to any of us. But imagine how you would feel if you were young. Often kids want to personalize things. So, how do you explain to them that the building that they're in isn't going to collapse? We all know there's a million good reasons why we are safer and sounder in certain parts of the world and in certain structures than others. But to a child, it doesn't feel that way, right? We don't need to be giving Pollyanna advice or, to talk about something horrible like that, 7,000 already found dead, and then switch gears and say, oh, but we're safe. Nothing could ever hurt us, right? We need to be realistic and say natural disasters affect different areas in different ways. And I'm keeping you safe here. Look how we have prepared, right? Be age appropriate with those kids. But more importantly, just know little pictures have big ears. So you might think that you're talking about it alone on a phone or in a video like this or with a friend, and your kids might actually be overhearing you. So just be thoughtful about what you're saying around little ones. The last thing is self-care. So many tragedies like this trigger past traumas. It's trauma all the way down, we always say. And it doesn't have to necessarily even be something related. Like, I have a dear friend who was in a massive earthquake in Japan, and I know today's super difficult for her. So I'm reaching out and saying, hey, I'm thinking of you. There are other people who've just had hard days on a day like this when a disaster happens, and this kind of compounds that emotion or memory, right? So make sure that you are stopping the doom scrolling. If you don't know what that means, it's when you just kind of keep looking for more and more information and going down that rabbit hole that's not feeding you or filling you up. Today, I got a massage. It was just randomly planned, but I was so grateful. That's why I've got we call this emergency hair in my house. Um, and it was such a relief away from all devices for that whole period of time and to really invest in sinking into relaxation, my physical health, my mental health, and doing something special for myself. That was a big deal. So that doesn't have to be something that you pay for. We talk about making a list of the 10 things that you do for self-care. I recommend that 5 of them be things that maybe you would pay for: a pedicure, a massage, golf outing, and 5 of them be things that you could do at any time for free: a hot bath with wonderful Epsom salts, great warm tea in your kitchen, reading a chapter of your favorite book over again. But when you have those 10 things on a notes on your phone, you can always go to them and refer to them. And I'm encouraging to do that tonight. Let's turn off the TVs. Let's check in reasonably, right? We don't want to be ignorant. We want to be informed, but that doesn't mean we have to watch every bit of coverage as it comes in. So be thoughtful of yourself, be thoughtful of others, and know that you aren't alone. You're in really good company, and that it is a hard time, and that news can be overwhelming, but news isn't everything, right? There are tragedies, and it is sad, and it is difficult. And in the same moment, there are beautiful, incredible, moving, positive, fabulous things happening everywhere around the world, too. And mainly, there are incredible people just like you all over the world. So just go find some of those incredible people. You're always welcome here, and know that it's all going to be okay. Okay? It doesn't always feel that way, but I want you to hear me. It's all going to be okay. It can be hard, it can be scary, it can be difficult, and you've gotten through all of that before. So it's all going to be okay. You guys hang in there tonight. Obviously, all of our thoughts and prayers and support and donations are headed that way. And we just pray that they find many, many people well, and that we are able to respond like helpers do. Take care, everybody. I love you so much. Please take good care.